Hi everybody, it's Double B Billy Boudreaux with another installment of WGS-TV, and this is going to be my Raw review. Well, I say my, I should say our, because I have here with me from Rockin' Waves 11294, Chris Rogers. Be sure you check him out on his YouTube channel, youtube.com/ChrisMaster1, and also on Stickcam, stickcam.com/ChrisMaster1. Chris, you ready?
I'm ready, man.
Well, we open up with the promo involving John Cena and Kane, and apparently this is supposedly supposed to be John Cena's answer to what Kane did last week, and of course in his failed attempt to get the Cena sucks chants going. We all know what we're talking about there, but and then like midway into it, Kane interrupts him and said he's going to feel the power of hate and let me just say this. I don't know about you, Chris, but the way they're doing this promo is, just like with we're going to talk as we already talked about, with Jericho's return. They're trying to make the show interesting again, with an interesting rivalry, wouldn't you say?
I do agree. I mean, it's all I can say is that it's working a lot better than the Cena Rock. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just they're drying um they're doing that too long. They're stretching that out too long. But the Kane and Cena rivalry, I'm totally for good rivalry choice.
Opening match on Monday Night Raw had to be, without a doubt, a really good match. Showcasing good talent for once. It was World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan and Intercontinental Champion Cody Rhodes, two big rising stars in the WWE right now. Two guys are loaded with potential, loaded with talent, and it was something I tweeted on Twitter during Raw during the match, and I said, to me at that point it really didn't matter who was going to win because the match was that damn good. It was when a match is that thoroughly enjoyable, then it really, to me, it really, I don't know how you feel about this, Chris, but when that match is that thoroughly enjoyable, I could care less who comes out the winner in the match.
I totally agree with you, man. And I mean, as much talent as these people, as Cody Rhodes has, with him being what a second and third generation wrestler, and Daniel Bryan being an established, good wrestler, back in the ROH, now coming in WWE as an established good wrestler. I'm glad that Raw opened up like that.
Officially, Daniel Bryan did defeat Cody Rhodes. Just for Next the record.
Segment
Segment we see is with Miz John Laurinaitis. And it was referencing, the situation that happened with R-Truth last week with the invisible bottle hit to the head. And see it in slow motion, guys. You'll know what I'm talking about. But and then Miz makes some reference that are you going to do anything about it? Laurinaitis says something to the effect of no, and quite possibly you might be looking at a match at Royal Rumble with Miz and R-Truth. And then Miz makes a reference of him being a sitting duck, and R-Truth comes into frame after Miz is gone and quacks.
Flapping his arms.
Yeah.
I think that's the Mrs. Mating call actually.
Now, one thing that could possibly be doing at R-Truth is turning him face without changing his character.
Yeah, and that's kind of a creative way to do it actually. That's how I would do it.
Next match, it's Wade Barrett and Santino Marella. I think one purpose they used this match was to announce the fact that Wade, I think it's Wade Barrett and Santino. I think he also said he'd be entering the Royal Rumble. So that's what they're using. We had on SmackDown Sheamus announcing that he was going to be in the Rumble, and so it's Hornswoggle. Yes, Hornswoggle. And now we're going to have Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett and Santino Marella. And this was just basically a squash match. Even though Santino is extremely and highly entertaining. He's highly comical. He's kind of like the WWE's version of Eric Young in a sense. But
Yeah.
this is basically a squash match. If they would have had Santino go over on Wade Barrett, Chris, I would have been high. I'll tell you what, I would have been shocked.
Yeah, but you have seen weirder things happen. you've seen Santino beat, I think it was Heath Slater one week
Heath Slater's a
with the
jobber.
Cobra. Do what?
Heath Slater's basically a jobber now.
Oh, yeah, well, unless he changes his hair, which I don't think he'll get rid of the Wendy's look.
Nope.
I think that Heath Slater's on the way out, but yeah, Santino Marella. I really think it won't be long before we see him go to the jobber stage again.
Next up, we were scheduled to have a match with Sheamus and Miz. Of course, Miz constantly looking behind his back. And before the bell sounds, Miz jumps Sheamus and then ties him up, and then they start ties him up the ring ropes, and then Sheamus gets himself free, and then they start fighting outside. And then we hear R-Truth goading Miz into the crowd as Miz was trying to run away from Sheamus, and R-Truth just went, little Jimmy said, "You're gonna get got." I've never heard so many verbs in one sentence in my life.
Line of the night.
You're gonna get got.
Yes.
5 verbs in one sentence. And the sentence is 7 words long. You kind of get what I'm saying. But anyway, as Miz was running away from R-Truth, he ran right into the bro kick from Sheamus. And then we'd see another bottle hit with from R-Truth on the Miz, but this time it wasn't so quite invisible. So they're really building on for this match to happen at the Royal Rumble, R-Truth and the Miz, and to be quite honest, that's a good way to cultivate the feud is at the Royal Rumble with R-Truth and the Miz. Then we had a promo with Dolph Ziggler, hyping up his World Heavyweight title match, or WWE title match, excuse me, tonight. And he starts off the interview with a headstand. Yeah. That kind of makes you go, what?
Yeah.
And then we had it was a segment also involving Zack Ryder and Jack Swagger, and from the way it looks, they're going to be building towards those two for the United States title. But the way John Laurinaitis set it up, they set it for a 6-man tag. John Cena, Zack Ryder, and Big Show, Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, and Kane, and it's going to be an elimination style 6-man tag. And not very often we see that a lot in professional wrestling, like 6-man elimination tag, unless it's at Survivor Series or something like that. Then we had, at the top of the hour, Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk for the WWE Championship. I was very impressed with this match. Not only impressed, but I was even more impressed with Dolph Ziggler's performance. Dolph Ziggler has always been a really good in-ring performer. His mic skills were, a little left to be desired, a little less to be desired. But when they paired him up with Vicky Guerrero, that was a really smart move to, so that way, for him to be at that heel status, that heel level that he needed to be on, Vicky Guerrero, she can draw automatic heat just by coming out there, farting on camera and saying, "Excuse me." But I was highly impressed with the way they did this match. CM Punk always at a top-notch level in the ring, and so was Dolph Ziggler. And I cannot wait till they do the match again at the Royal Rumble. And by the way, for the record, Dolph Ziggler won by countout, and with the match at the Royal Rumble.
And he thought that he actually won the title.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the story is or how they're going to play that out. One can only assume what they're going to do on Monday Night Raw next week. But then we get the spin on it. Laurinaitis backstage announces the rematch and the fact that he would be the guest referee. And then, of course, we hear another line of lines from CM Punk that if Laurinaitis screws Punk out of the title of the Royal Rumble, he was going to beat him word for word. He was going to beat him like a bitch.
Yep.
I think TVPG might be starting to wave bye-bye.
Thank you. It's about freaking time, too.
The Bella Twins, Kelly and Eve, Need I say more? Good, because
Basically, I wasn't. I didn't see it. I was basically taking a piss in the bathroom. So yeah.
then was the segment involving CM Punk and John Laurinaitis, and then we had the big return of Y2J. And if you guys follow me on the channel regularly, you saw that me and Ashley already made a video. And if you tune into WGS Radio tonight, we're gonna have a follow-up discussion about the big return of Y2J, Chris Jericho. Then we had the main event: John Cena, Zack Ryder, and Big Show taking on. Now scheduled to be Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, and Kane, but apparently Kane, what they said was, David Otunga came out holding a microphone, then talks to the referee, and then leaves. What was the freaking point of bringing out the microphone?
Exactly. That's what I was. I mean, is he like so used to holding a microphone that he's like, oh, I can't be David Otunga, a big butthead, if I don't have a microphone.
Anyway, I think the eliminations, started out with, again, Mark Henry is legitimately injured. I know, I kept thinking in my head, how the hell are they going to be using him in this match? And of course, how? They have Big Show, Mark Henry go on the outside, and they use steel chairs, and they get disqualified. So they're gone from the match. So it's Swagger against Cena and Zack Ryder, and if I remember correctly, there was a tag. Zack Ryder was in trouble in the ankle lock. Then he tags John Cena. Then John Cena proceeds to do his 5 moves of doom, or in tonight's case, 4 moves of doom, and gets the victory. And then next we see Kane pulling a Big Show Paul White from St. Valentine's Day Massacre 1999, popping out of the ring, and to pull. At first he was gonna bring John Cena into the what they call the Void, the Abyss, and then he goes for Zack Ryder, and as Zack Ryder was being sucked in, I was waiting for a joke from you, but you didn't want to go through with it. Okay. Cena,
I decided just to let it go with that.
Cena pulls, as you were saying earlier off camera, an Indiana Jones, and rescues Zack Ryder at the last minute, and then we see the Kane's huge pyro.
So basically, Ryder was like the damsel in distress, basically.
Well, if you want to put it like that, yeah. But but then we see Kane's pyro explode out of the hole in the ring. Now I was on Skype with Ashley, and he said, even though this is 2012, he said hands down that was the best pyro of the year, seeing the Kane's pyro explode out of the ring. So
definitely
match of the night, guys. It's gonna be there's 2 really good matches to decide from. Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes, and Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk, because those were 2 really good matches. The main event, it was okay, but a little predictable. You can kind of figure, with Kane not appearing, he was going to wait until after the match was over to make his appearance and try to beat down on John Cena. But
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, you were. The sad thing is, a lot of times these things are predictable from the get-go.
So I'm gonna go in and just, toss a make-believe coin up in the air, and I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna give these guys their due because they deserve it. It was a really good match. Daniel Bryan and Cody Rhodes. So, what I want to, Chris, quickly, do you have a match of the night?
Not really. I will say segment of the night, which is a toss-up between 2. Y2J returning and basically the Archer doing the Miz's mating call. So those were my 2 favorite parts of the night.
All right, so what I want to know from you guys out there is, what did you think of Monday Night Raw? You know the way to do it. Comments in the comment section below, or in a video response, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/TheWrestleGamer. And don't forget to check out blogtalkradio.com/WGSRadio Wednesdays for WrestleDown, the discussion of Wrestling Now, and Saturdays for Game Up, and of course on Sundays, the night of a pay-per-view, 2 hours before the pay-per-view. I'd like to thank Chris Rogers for joining me on this review. And don't forget,
Always a pleasure.
don't forget to check him out on, again, his YouTube is youtube.com/ChrisMaster1, and he's also on stickcam.com/ChrisMaster1. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.